Hello, people of the internet. It's your boy, Skinny Penis. And we're doing YouTube content again. Another ship. Another video. Technically not a new ship, but I don't think I have made a video yet on the Legmod for Gouden. So we are going to play Legmod Gouden today. Actually worthwhile to play this boat. It was already really cracked before the Legmod got got out. And it straight up got buffed. So basically before that you were a disgusting farmer and you had access to ships behind rocks, which other ships didn't. Also, technically the guns aren't as bad as people make them out to be. You have pretty high fire chance on them, which means you can basically abuse the fact that people DCP one fire from your guns, and then you can just drop them into the ground. And at the same time, you also overmatch light cruisers, and your AP is good enough to citadel basically any cruiser at range. Through Legmod, you sadly drop range mod, which means your crossfires are not as good anymore. Also, your farming with guns is a bit ineffective because your range is limited. But thanks to your great concealment and the 2.7 kilometers self-dropping, you can just make way better use of the drops. And well, the big thingy with the Legmod is that you get a third drop to charge up, which means even if you're not using them, you actually use the time to charge up 3 that are then ready, not 2. And obviously there's also base reload on the drops. I don't actually know how much it is. I think it was like 15 to 25, something in between that. But yeah, since you go full drop spec anyways with the special captain, that's I think 10%, and then the module, which is 20 or so. And gives you more HP on the planes, which is also important because they can theoretically get flak bursted pretty easily if people are in the right positions. But yeah, so with the Legmod, you just get better reload and another one to charge, which is really good. It's basically what it needed to be completely over the top busted in certain situations. So what you want to do is you want to either have people stuck on islands and you can perma drop them, or you have situations where you kite and you can use your stealth to get people into your stealth drop range. Which means if this Wisconsin would be below or around 13 km pushing into me, I don't even need to be spotted to drop him. Obviously, you have to get good at dropping these things in the first place and leading them correctly. I personally never found that to be hard, because ships in World of Warships don't really maneuver that fast, specifically cruisers and battleships. And for me, hitting BBs was pretty simple. You just have to like watch what kind of movements he could do or would do, and then it should be fine. But yeah, definitely one of the Legmods of all times, one of the new Legmods that got out and released, together with Ven, Elbing, also like Haaland. All of those Legmods are straight up upgrades. There is basically no trade-off. I mean, it looks like there's a trade-off, but the way the ships play, those buffs are just, or those Legmods are just buffs straight up. Some are not noticeable, because like Gouden and Ven don't give you a DPM buff, or even Elbing, but the utility you get through these Legmods just makes the ships way better. More survivable, easier to play, well, lots of different impacts you can have with those. Well, I'm AFKing on a arms race game on 910 line. Pretty shit game, can't really get anything into drop range. But it appears that the second DD isn't here and playing this, so I will now proceed to dive the island, which is fine. The moment I make the island, it's pretty hard to farm me out from here, and I should be then in drop range for the Moskva at least. Well, my teammates are running away, so I think I may actually not dive. I will maybe just kite out in front, because I have the spotting advantage on the Moskva, right? So I can just outspot him by like 4 kilometers, which also means I can like stealth drop him the entire time. Wait. So like, for example, we can use a drop. I have him like permalit, so it should be, I can load AG, because not a lot is gonna happen here. My team didn't really collect many buffs, which is quite sad, but what can you do? Moskva, pretty shit target for me, not gonna lie. I don't penetrate any of his platings. Obviously, you have to remember that the bombs only pen 37, which means anything that has higher plating than that is a bit harder to drop, because you basically just pen nose as superstructure and then you go through fires. But there are some ships that eat a lot of shit from these drops. For example, 32mm BBs, very easy target or targets, and well, yeah, this is kind of what you want to see, the 30mm BBs. Well, I didn't get good bomb drop here because he just white lines. Actually, here probably AP just a better option. I'm just holding the flank. Not really a lot I can do. I mean, I can help the Shimmer versus the Z now. We got a reload buff, which is good for my drops. But, I mean, I think this game is gonna be like a pretty long one at that. Nothing is really happening. Someone greeted me. Maybe this guy dies to Pete's? I don't know. I finally hit the Wisconsin ones, but sadly still no fire. I have nothing really to be dropping here. Got another hit on the Z. I hope I can spot the Z when he shoots here again. Because if he open waters here, I can actually light him and kill him, maybe. I mean, he's definitely looking for an angle to shoot the Shimmer again, so I'll just be ready to kill him. I think his Shimmer is still in Hydro or Radar. There's too much shit that could spot him here. Here you go. I will only get one shot, and I think I missed it even, or the dispersion is not working out. Yeah. Ah. Unfortunate. I mean, my Shimmer just basically suicided in to get that Z out. Other side is winning though, so I don't really need to do anything. I mean, yeah, obviously there's not gonna be a lot of damage. But I mean, I can't really run it in and suicide. I hope the Z goes for the buffs. He should probably go towards the buffs, or he will, because Banana and Didi. I can probably turn around and try to take a fight with the Moskva again. If it's a dedicated 1v1, I will most likely win against the Moskva. It shouldn't be an issue. Now I also have AR, all drops charged up, and a 10% reload, so my drops are 42 seconds, so I can just basically burn the guy into the ground. Obviously my Malta died. It's a bit shit. Okay, interesting. I mean, technically the Kitakami should die in there. That is way too aggressive for a Kitakami, and he only has smoke for so long. Weird game. Ain't gonna lie, pretty fucking weird game. I also don't know where the Moskva is, so I think I'll load AP in case he randomly pops up flat. But given my concealment, as long as the Z isn't here, or the carrier doesn't magically come over and spot me, I have spotting advantage on all those ships, which is obviously really good. I think I'll go towards middle. If they all dive into middle, that's really fine by me. I can just then proceed to drop them permanently. Only thing that could fuck me now is the Mecklenburg randomly deciding to come here. Well, I mean, they got now a double reload buff because they didn't defend against the Z. But I guess if the Z dies for that, it's still kind of fine. I wonder where the Mecklenburg comes, or when he comes. Okay, we have the Yamato in the middle, so I'm gonna start dropping that. Mecklenburg behind me. Kinda fine. Don't really care that much. You gotta, by the way, be a bit patient with the drops. Oh, by the way, here, the drops get shot down because they get flag bursted by something. I can't get a fire with my drops today. It's actually shit as fuck. I'm gonna shoot the Yamato a bit. I want to keep this angle because I have a flat angle on the Moskva if he wants to move into middle. Still no fires. Okay. I mean, maybe get one with my main guns and then I can drop him and get some fire. Okay, main gun fire. The Moskva is actually moving forward and I have the flat, as I said. Did he DCP? Nope, he didn't, but I don't really care. I just want to go on the Moskva. There you go, 28k. By the way, this is why Gouden AP is actually pretty strong, and I don't know why people make the guns out to be that bad. The guns aren't supposed to be potent, but they're still potent enough to fuck with people, so... Well, this is, I guess, why people are so weirded out by the... I have to move the Yamato turning the turrets, I think. Oh, this dispersion should maybe get him. Nope. Nearly killed him. I don't know if I get another shot into the nose. Maybe. Well, use FA. Okay, I got him. Used FA, a little bit out. And that was a... Oh, yeah. That's something, by the way, about Gouden. People forget. The AA on it is mega toxic. It's like really fucking crazy. What's my Kreml doing? Okay, he's full. It's gonna take my... or keep my distance to the middle now. And, oh, okay. Interesting. He's coming. We are... I mean, I can basically just load instant HE and then burn him into the ground. I don't really care. I have one last heal and I have a double heal going on, so... this will be fine. I missed that drop. This guy is awkward to drop because he never slows down. He just goes straight. Okay. Fire. It's fine. I mean, I penetrate him everywhere with the guns. Maybe this drop hits better because he finally slows down. Awkward maneuvering from this guy, I tell you that much. He's also one of the persons that shoots down my drops a lot. Okay. I'm getting some good damage here. I'm gonna turn in then. Increased HP. All good. Yeah, he's just dead. I don't know why he went flat to the other side. Not the best damage game. I mean, the Moskva kind of saved it by just instantaneously getting bumfucked. But there was not really much I could do. If I would have spawned middle, I would have obviously been the best. I could have just played middle on the islands and used my drops as an unfair advantage over people, because they, yeah, well, drops do be hitting above islands, as you can see here. I don't need to have line of sight to drop him. And yeah, well, battleships are obviously the ones that suffer the most, and lightly armored cruisers. Like, technically the bombs also have a major flaw in their design, that they pen lightly armored ships, where it should probably be more like you penetrate heavily armored ships and deal less damage. So lightly armored ships, if they get hit, which they shouldn't get that often, are kind of fine. But instead you're just dicking on ships that already get dicked on anyways. Like, if you have a stationary Salem or Des Moines and you hit all your 3 strikes, you can't technically one-shot him. And it's not even that unlikely to one-shot him. I think the Yamato is just gonna sit on that island. I mean, the reload on my airstrike is now obscene, 37.5. I would like to see the Yamato, but I don't think I will be able to. Just gonna shit my strikes the moment I do see him. Maybe I should load AP. I stick with AG. That Mecklenburg is AFK beyond belief. Quite fascinating. Okay, there you go. Haaland is rushing him from behind. Maybe not the best idea. Let's see how much the drops do. I technically don't penetrate his deck. Ah, there you go. Like, I don't get that many pens, but I get a million fires. Like, yeah, quad fired. Okay, the last drop actually did massive damage. There you go. If this is a Conqueror, full HP, and I hit all those bombs, he basically gets one-shot through Alpha. The Yamato took like, what now, 30k? 25 to 30k Alpha, but he got set on a quad perma because the bombs have such insane fire chance. And the thing with the bombs is, even if they don't deal that massive amount of damage and stuff, it's about the timing when you get the fires. Since the bombs are an armament you always have basically ready, you can just always use it when there's a DCP, which is really good. Like, you can just get these perma fires through the bombs so often, and that's why the average damage of this ship is so incredibly high, obscenely high even, I would say. Because the guns would scream that you're not dealing that much damage, but yeah, no, here you can see it. I mean, I have 1 damage buff, but it's only 10%, but again, I got a fire. Again, I did like 10k. Like, technically you don't even have to be lit in the ship to get to 200k damage and stuff sometimes. 200 is a bit hard just with bombs, but I had games where I did the 150 alpha nearly. Or I also had games where I instantaneously arsonist the ship because I hit the bombs after a DCP. And that's like the strength of it. You just gotta get good at aiming them. I missed a few in the Wisconsin. That's basically, if someone is full speed, it's kind of a coin flip what you do. He can slow down and turn in. But you can also go straight, so it's 50-50. But if ships are stationary, it's not even that. Like, it's way easier to hit the ship than you would expect, even like cruisers and stuff, because ships in this game are technically very limited in their movement, especially if they play forwards on islands, and this is kind of what you want to see. So this is the spec. You want to have the special commander. I think there are 2 of them. You can get them for like 1 for coal, 1 for doubloons. So I think everyone should have 15 or 25k doubloons it is, I think, for this skill. Because it gives you 15 instead of 10%. And that goes a long way. 5% off the reload is like 4 seconds, I think. 3 to 4 seconds. And then, yeah, because you have this, and I like to play PT, I can't take a second here. But that doesn't really matter because I just take the fire skill, which is also enhanced. And then you have higher fire chance on your bombs and guns, which is kind of what you go through. And you don't really want to fight with inside your concealment most of the time anyways. And the gun buff of 8% reload isn't that hard. Technically, you could also drop PT and fire and go for the AA skill. It's kind of funny. Like, you are an AA monster. You already take the 2.8 skill for the reload. So technically, you could take this and get your cooldown on hydro and heals even faster. I think your heals are faster already than normal cruisers, which is also kind of saving the ship. But also, like, DCP comes off faster and you have 60-second fires. But that's like the spec I like to run. It doesn't really, everything else or anything else would be min-maxing. Kind of want to have this. So yeah, and then for the modules, you obviously, for once, don't take propulsion. That's like the only ship, I guess, on tier 10 where you don't take it. Because you take airstrike. And the buffs are just too massive. It's airstrike HP, aircraft HP 25%, which is very, very important, so they can't get shot down that much. So that technically gives you DPM too, because your bombs stay alive, or your bombers, and 20% reload, which is a lot. So you definitely want to take this. Rest is always the same, and then here you now take the ship-to-shore radio, the, wait, I have it here, the Pepega phone, and well, yeah, we can also activate the Pepega phone next game. What was the buffs again? Minus 25% reload and 1 airstrike. It gives you 25%. So I thought they nerfed it, but they did nerf it. But that means that the original Legmod gave you minus 35, I think, then, which would have been like obviously even more demented, completely busted probably. But yeah, the main thing is also number of airstrike flights +1. You'd probably already take this if it had like minus 10% reload and +1 airstrikes. You'd still take it because it's just incredible to have a 3rd airstrike loaded. You can just cycle so many airstrikes if you engage that basically the enemy ship is forced to be on permafires if you hit them. So yeah, but you can't take a ranger reload, which doesn't necessarily matter. Technically, I could also put this on, so I have even more fire chance. And then we can go into the next battle, play it one more time. As you just saw, very comfy to play cruiser. If there's no DD, you have insane concealment. Also, your side platings are 40. You have an icebreaker, not on the ass though, so if your ass in and a battleship knows where to shoot, it can one-shot you through the ass. Nose, no, it's impossible. You have an icebreaker. You have 40 sides, I think, and the deck armor is the problem with 30, so you get overmatched at range, but you don't really fight that far at range anyways. And you have fast heals. So like the only thing that is really, really difficult for you to fight is constant HE spammers, or like basically staying in a fight against AG, because you have 60-second fires, no fire prevention, so that's like the only issue. But given you have a fast heal here, the cooldown is super fast, as you see, 38 seconds, and you have great concealment, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Submarines are still an issue for this thing, obviously, because they didn't give it air ASW, which is probably the issue is that it already has an airstrike, so it can't get a second, I guess. Something like that. But obviously you want to keep your distance to submarines. They're a bit of a pain. Also, since you have the airstrike modification, not the propulsion, it's accelerating and decelerating very, very, very slow. Specifically, acceleration is a problem. So if you're caught, you can't really just accelerate out. Technically, prop mod is also really busted in that sense, or kind of way stronger than any other mod, because you can just like accelerate, throw off shells, and get moving, which means you also get turning faster. Once again, the reason, by the way, you don't take rudder mod on any ship ever, kind of, and you always take propulsion, because it doesn't matter if your rudder shifts faster if your ship isn't moving. So that's the issue with like spotting torps randomly when you're stationary, or getting shot at when you're stationary, or you get caught. You want to be moving, so then you can turn. You don't want to be able to turn, but you don't move. So yeah, that's kind of propulsion mod logic. So technically, we can also we can activate the Pepegaphones. There you go. It's kind of a meme Legmod. It's a meme ship in general. I hate the concept, kind of. I would like it more, as said, if it had the possibility or the ability to pen 60mm, for example, like the Krem, but deal less damage. I'd like that more. I'd be able to shit on stuff that wants to sit on an island, specifically Russian stuff, for example, wants to sit on islands, and you would be a direct counter for that with the concealment and the range of the airstrike. But now it's more like you just dick on what's already getting dicked on. I said that the Moine on a rock without Legmod can't really dodge you, so it blows up. Salem at least has a super heal, but as I said, technically you can one-shot him if you have all 3 strikes loaded, so yeah. This game is a bit awkward because we have 3 30 overmatchers here, so what I'm currently doing isn't necessarily smart either. You don't necessarily want to like really gunfight people that much unless you have them in your drop range so you can get something out of the guns, but since I have nothing else to do, I will now proceed to shoot a bit. And I will stop shooting already because like I'm talking about how useless it is and I'm still doing it. I will get moving and get to the island. I know where the I know where the DD is now. I can just go dark. Interesting penetrations, as I said, like I have 30 sides technically. I will go to the island because, or closer, because I need to get into drop range of Kreml and Georgia. Obviously, something like a Repub, Conqueror, Thunderer, you won't get into, or Patrie, you won't get into range that much, or Devastation, because they like to camp in the back. But here and there, you get these engagements where you have like a pushing or stationary Patrie, Devastation, whatever, 32mm BB, that's fat. And then you can really just rack up some damage. I think there's like basically no ship that deals more damage to them in quick succession if you have all strikes charged. I'd had 20k alpha strikes on Conquerors with 1 drop, and you have 3 of them, so yeah, you're kind of murdering them a bit hard, let's say. Yeah, we push back in. I think I already used a heal here. I'm generally more a fan of using the heals early, so I have another one ready in case something goes wrong or bit like that. Oh, I just clicked. I didn't even want to. Does it hit? That would be the most awkward hit I've had. Yeah, it actually does hit. Wicked. Didn't even want to shoot. I just fat fingered my guns. Where is he turning? Oh, we should be able to kill the ETA 73 guy. Come on, guys. We can do it. Ah, he's shot, so he stays lit. Yeah, I got a fire. That should be perma. Oh, the Hornet torps him, actually. So the entire enemy team is running away from here. Interesting. Definitely. You're also technically a complete menace against something like limited DCP BBs like Schlieffen or Kreml. Specifically also when they sit on island. Because like, if you hit airstrikes on them and get 1 fire, that's like a DCP or a heal gun. And since you reload the strike so fucking fast, kinda incredible how fast you can get them to yield all their healing / DCP potential. Kind of like something if you play a Schlieffen or a Kram and you have a Gouden in your mouth, you better want to run that down fast or you don't run it down at all. So here we have actually the Repub in range. Now we're going to witness, depending on how the flak hits this, I will lose planes, but... Okay, no fire, but 11k alpha. There you go. The thing is, since I didn't get a fire, now the chaining is a bit weird, because... Wait. That was nearly 17k alpha. Still no fire though. Like, this should be not that hard to lead, honestly. I can already move forward to the next island. There's no reason for me to shoot yet. I would maybe shoot if we... no fire. I mean, I've seen things in my time, but that is a bit awkward, technically. And he shot. I'll wait for... See, like, now you have to be patient. Using this airstrike is kind of useless because you don't get the other one instant. So you just wait a bit. And then you have 2 again. And also I have to keep chasing him anyways to keep him in range. He's slowing down again. 16 seconds is kind of fine. I will now proceed to drop another one. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. 6 seconds on the... I think he's in the middle of it. He should eat massive shit. Again. Ah, now we get a double fire. There you go. Now he's gonna DCP. We're gonna watch what he's kind of doing, and then I think I have to go. Oh, this should be a decent drop. Question is just like how much do they shoot down, because it's now lots of people's AA. This is a really shit scenario because they all get their AA flak on this. Even if they had a def AA ship, this would probably die. Like the drop would most likely die. Okay, another fire. No need to push, no need to peek, no need to do anything yet. Ah, he accelerates. He was slowing down and then he accelerates again. This one will miss. I should probably wait a bit and get some airstrikes charged. Technically peek the... yeah, I missed. Accelerated. I should have known. Unlucky there. Technically a lot of unlucky fire chance. Pretty fucking shit. But... yeah, I get the fire chance on the guns, I guess. The guy's insta-DCPing all the time. This time I think I'll just use an airstrike on him. Because he's also like singled out, which means I can probably get... some... oh, and yeah, see, I have the fire chance on the guns or some shit. I don't know. We'll go dark again. I have no business of fighting this. Don't want to. Don't need to. 13k alpha, mainly because the superstructure isn't saturated, I would say. Therefore you get lots of pens there with high damage. Not like you do 0 damage if you don't pen the deck, but you definitely deal significantly less damage. That guy in the Venezia is killing himself for no reason. Gotta be careful that this guy doesn't get my broadside. It's gonna be like a long drawn out fight with the Krem. But as you can see here, I'm not gonna use my airstrike for now, because I want him to DCP again and then use my airstrike. So hopefully I keep getting fires with my main guns that he then DCPs. Not this time. There you go. That's a fire. He's probably gonna DCP it, and then we will be able to drop him. Or he doesn't DCP and I can just keep my drops. Okay, then we do like that. Technically going for a second fire here is dumb, because he already took the decision to let that one burn, so I guess we want to watch this thing burn. Burning flat anyway, so let's switch to AP. As you can see, it's a very... he's not going fucking flat to me, he's going flat to the Hawk. Okay, sure. We have 2 strikes charged, so I will use one now. We'll heal now. Ooh. Getting a bit overmatched here, but he... yeah, okay, he got fucked in the flat broadside by the Hawk, so I think we're fine. Hawk also has torpedoes. I don't know why he did that, but you never know with those people. They're too smart for us. I kill him here. Here you go. Udaloy is behind me, don't really care. Gonna go out front. 157. Not that much damage. I don't think this time there will be a Yamato that saves me. Oh, at least we got a kill from the secondaries. Also kind of funny. This time there won't be a Yamato that saves me in the end, but 157 is still fine. Ship's like 170k average with Legmod. Maybe even 180 if you really concentrate and get good games. The Legmod just allows you to pump way more damage than should be possible in this thing. White, the Demented spec. Also, like on this map, you could see it's very small. I could use centered rocks, forward rocks. The moment you reach those rocks and you're still alive with a decent amount of HP, you're becoming extremely candy because you're denying 13 kilometers of range. People can't go stationary. People either have to commit in and try to kill you or have to kite away. Like if this repop stays around, he just dies. Yeah. If you get a Legmod and you like Gouden, that's definitely one. I mean, I personally wouldn't even play Gouden anymore without Legmod. That is, the Legmod is by far the best out of the new ones and by far the most demented one. So personally, I wouldn't play without Legmod anymore. That's definitely something I can say. I wouldn't do it. It's just so much better. And easier too. I mean, you're buffing the armament that leaves the enemy little counter play against you. You just gotta bring the patience too. That's something that's always important. Bring the patience. Don't instantaneously drop all your drops just because you think you caught someone. Sometimes you can do that. Ooh. Also, by the way, here again, the supposedly really shit guns. They're not that bad. They're technically also, I say it all the time, they're way too good for the ship. Like the gimmick of the Legmod shit, like with the insane amount of drop potential you have, the guns are way too good for that. Like, the guns actually also do exactly what you need them to do. They have decent AP against flat cruisers or battleships for good damage, and good poke with HE for fires, because you have 22.5 on the guns. So this is kind of what you want. Those two things. You want to get a fire here and there with the guns so they DCP, and you want to be able to deal decent damage to flat broadside cruisers, which you saw with the Ven and the Moskva. Therefore, I personally think the guns are way too good. Giving it 2-3s with normal or like pretty weak AP and HE would have been better. Same or similar reload kind of, with less fire chance, because then you would at least not be able to fuck on cruisers. Because also technically I can shit on light cruisers like Minnow, Brisbane, Molly, Colbert. I overmatched them everywhere. Oh, actually we ended up with 180 in the end. There was some damage saving definitely going on. No XP in this one because it's mostly battleship damage. We can quickly go over the damage distribution of both games, then end it. So here obviously we get a lot of alpha because I had the Republic in the drop range, and then I got some on the Kreml. Fires 39, not that much, but it's like a nice distribution this game. I think the last game was a bit better technically distribution wise. Yeah, so like you have the armor piercing part that comes in because the Moscow went flat, and then similar, like the amount of damage you can do here is insane. Both games are above 100k from bombs. And those weren't even like really cracked games for the bombs. Like you didn't have that many ships that you completely obliterate, or battleships specifically that you obliterate with those. Or Stalingrads, for example, would also be bad. Technically, you're also countering yourself in Gouden Legmod versus Gouden Legmod. You should probably focus the Gouden out first then. Yeah, and keep in mind with the flag that you shouldn't really drop ships where the planes are in the open, spotted, flying towards them for a long duration. Sometimes if you know there's 2 or 3 defas, then they will get bursted down, so it's not even really worth it to drop it. It's best if the people are close to islands, for example. It's important that there's no defa flag spawning in front of the planes. If you do that, you're kind of cucking yourself out of damage. Yeah, that's it for Gouden. 2 games, so it was pretty good. I would definitely recommend buying this one. As I said, it's the best out of the new ones. Obviously depends a bit on the ships. If you like Ven, Haaland, or what was the other one? Ven, Gouden, Haaland, and... Good question. There was another Legmod, or was there? Elbing. There you go, Elbing. Depends on what ship you like to play. The Haaland one is the weakest out of all of them, but it's still better than not having it. And The Gouden and Ven one are extremely busted, specifically if you play Lighthouse Ven. Gouden just generally the most broken out of all of them, and the Elbing one just makes the ship way easier to play and also a bit better and more fun to play. So yeah, this one here definitely gets a mega recommendation. The Pepes can go into Lumber again. We will activate them, or we won't activate them for a while, because Gouden does get boring also from time to time. You can't spam it that much, the same as you can't spam Van or Elbing that much. But yeah, that's it for Gouden. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video.